What up, guys? This is Wild Rocker here, and I'm going to fill you in on the latest information about Mortal Kombat X, known as Mortal Kombat 10. Now, a lot of people have been commenting on my last video, and they were wondering, maybe I should do a video about certain characters that are coming, or maybe rumored characters. And a lot of people, like I just saw on my Twitter the other day, and I was going to make a video about it, but I couldn't because I had technical difficulties. But, since that's all gone and done, a lot of people have been wondering about, certain characters that might be coming back, like a rumor. And one of those characters was actually Reiko and Fujin. Now, I can understand why, because some people remember the sound bits that we had in MK9. Just like, when people suspected that Smoke would be back. And he did, but he wasn't as way as we thought. He was in his human form. And, a lot of people thought he was going to be back in his classic, kind of Cyber Ninja outfit. And turns out, and a lot of people don't even know this, but the original costume for Smoke for MK9 was given to Cyber Sub-Zero. That was going to be Smoke. And that's been confirmed a long time ago. But anyways, so a lot of people have been wondering if Rico's going to make it back. Because a lot of people really do pay attention to the story. And, I'm guilty. I'm one of those people that really wants to get in depth with the story and the details about, who's betraying who and what realm is taking over other realms, and who's like the true emperor. Because, at first we thought it was Shang Tsung in MK1. He was a not an emperor, but, he was one of them bosses. And then, then we saw Shao Kahn, then we saw Naga, and then we saw Blaze. And we're just like, oh, my God, it just keeps going up and up and up. But anyways, so a lot of people have been wanting to know if Reiko's going to make it. Now, as for confirmation, I do not know this yet. But more than likely, we might see a possible cameo. I mean, they always have cameos. They're known for cameos, and secrets and Easter eggs. I mean, hell, they're taking an Easter egg that people still don't know, and most of you do, but some still don't know. Like in MK9, if you press start on the MK2 Noob Saibot costume, you got Noob Smoke, which was a tag, alliance, so to say, with, and I think it was Deception, yes, with Noob Smoke. And a lot of people don't know the secret. It's still today. It's been over 20 years. People still don't know the secrets to that stuff. But if they ever do want to know, just let me know. I'll fill you guys in. Because I'm like the biggest nerd when it comes to this stuff. But anyways, a lot of people have been wondering if Fujin's going to make it in too, because people have been wondering and being suspicious about that. But the main thing, a lot of people are wondering, and then they're assuming, is that they want Reiko to come in because not just because of sound bits that we heard in MK9. We figure maybe they won't use them, and they might put them in this MK. But I'll give you a little history about Reiko though. Reiko was a general for Shao Kahn's army. Army? I got a little jersey on me. Army, sorry. And that's been confirmed since a long time ago. Especially that has been proven in Armageddon. Now, a lot of people want to see more story and depth with Reiko, because some people don't feel like Reiko's got enough potential, to actually be of an importance to the story. Now, that's not my opinion. That's just some people's opinion. Now, on the other side of that coin, a lot of people do want to see more in depth. They want to get to know this guy. I mean, Reptile was like, and this, I'm a little off topic right now, but Reptile was like the punching bag of Mortal Kombat players, and he got treated like shit. And as if I recall, in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, I think it was. No. Mortal Kombat 9. In Mortal Kombat Armageddon, he only had one line. In the whole Conquest. That was it. In Mortal Kombat 9, he didn't even speak a word. He whispered something in Shang Tsung's ear. That was it. It's like, come on, So, after they finally start getting in depth with him, as for the de-evolution thing with him, that made him kind of interesting to wonder, what's going on with this character. And that's the same thing that they want with Reiko. They want something, a little bit fresh, something like some type of detail of a story of who he is and, where he came from. Well, he came from Outworld, obviously. But, a lot of people just want to know about him. Like, what is his plan? What is his scheme? Now, a lot of people think that he's trying to take over Shao Kahn. And the only proof of that is because of the MK4 ending of Reiko. And I tell you what, when I first watched that, and if people don't know what it is, all it is, and there's no words, all it is that the ending, he teleports to a different realm, preferably Outworld, I think, and he goes in a Shao Kahn's throne room, sits in his throne, and puts on his helmet, like playing pretend, like wannabe Barbie. And that just really raised a lot, I mean a lot of suspicion because a lot of people, when Deadly Alliance came out and Shang Tsung and Quan Chi actually, formed an alliance and took down Shao Kahn, a lot of people thought Reiko would take up and replace him, so to say. Not literally be the next Shao Kahn, but be the emperor of Outworld. And we didn't see no depth in that, and they could have put a lot of depth in that. Now, I'm actually a fan of Reiko. I'm a fan of most of the characters, to be honest. I can't hate any of them, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people don't like Suhao or Mocap or Darius or hell, even Movado, sometimes. Or Cobra. Cobra's another one that people don't like. Or Meat. But, they all have their different things. And, if they just have a compelling story to them, it'll make them that much more, compelling to the players and to the people that are playing the game. And they could do so much with Reiko. So a lot of people are suspecting that Reiko might be in this. And I think this would be a perfect chance for having the MK team to actually get into depth and detail with not just with Reiko, but let's say they add Fujin back. They could get into detail with him. Because, I mean, a lot of people don't even know the game Mortal Kombat Mythology, so most of you do. Well, some do. And, that was a really, really old game back in the day. And, I remember the first, elemental boss he had to fight was actually Fujin. And a lot of people don't know that Fujin was there. And that was the first, he was a wind god. He was a wind boss. And, they could add more in depth to that. And another thing a lot of people want to see come back is actually Shujinko. They're wondering, they're asking me opinions on Twitter and on Facebook. They're like, do you think Shujinko will make it back? Well, to be honest, like I said, they might make a cameo. I mean, hell, Reiko, Frost, Kira, who else? Tanya made cameo appearances in MK9, and I mean, I'm not saying that's not possible. That's more than likely going to happen because, they're known for that. But as for actually being in the game and playable, I don't really think they will. I mean, but that, that's just my word, though. I mean, you can't take that. But the reason, and here's the reason why. Shujinko, when you went through his Conquest mode and his whole, life story and everything, the story I thought was pretty good. And at the time, it was on PlayStation 2. The graphics are kind of shitty, but it was good for its time, okay? And as for him, as for a person of Shujinko and who he was and how all the training he had to go through and to find out that he got fucked over, which, by the way, if you guys haven't played Armageddon, or not Armageddon, sorry, Deception, spoiler alert, so I'll let you pause here. And yes, he did get fucked over by Damashi, which turned out to be, what he thought through his entire life. This has got to be the biggest burn ever. Through his entire life, since he was, I think, a teenager it was, or a young adult, he's been training with Damashi, trying to get better and trying to find out, how to defeat Shao Kahn and all this, this greater evil and whatnot. But he doesn't know what it is. And this spirit, Damashi, is supposed to help him out. And it turns out through his entire life, when he's an old man now, that Damashi was a fucking evil spirit all along. And it turned out to be Onaga, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Oh my god, that was a total mind fuck, because I'm like, oh my god, this guy's been in my life my entire life, and I just got fucked over. Really? He made me make him, into what he was, and I was like, oh shit. But anyways, the reason I don't think that they'll have Shujinko in this one as for a playable character is because Shujinko had a lot of mimic moves, he didn't really have he had his own fighting style, so to say, like Mantis, I think it was, but he didn't actually have a special move that was his own. Take an example, okay, Sindel's got his Scream, Subby's got his Freeze, Scorpion's got his Spear, like always, Movado and Cabal have their hooks, Reptile's got his Acid and his Speed, and then when you think of Shujinko, you don't really think of anything because it's kind of hard to think, because he had a copy of other people's moves. He had Sub-Zero's Freeze, he had Scorpion's Spear, and it's just that's kind of half-assed, to be honest. I mean, because it's not half-assed as in they're just taking the same moves and copying over to another player. No, because it's a fact that they kept doing it, and this ain't the first person they've done it to. Okay, in MK1, okay, Shang Tsung, all right. They had a guy that could morph and imitate the entire player completely, not only just his special moves, but the physical form as well. Okay, that was pretty cool. We never seen that because obviously it's the first Mortal Kombat. Okay, and then they went with that with Shang Tsung, getting souls and morphing into people. Okay, all right, he's practically a shapeshifter, to be honest. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But when they start introducing the characters like Chameleon, the male, and then Chameleon, the female, and then the female version had like the attributes of every single ninja, female ninja, or assassin, or princess, and then the Chameleon, the male, had, you know, the same exact moves as Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Ermac, Noob Saibot, Reptile, Rain, etc., etc., and you're just like, okay, now they're starting to, you know, why are they adding this character? Now, I don't have anything against Chameleon, both of them, male or female. But the fact is, I mean, as for the story, I mean, you know, the story could have gotten a little bit better, and we could have seen a little bit more in depth with that. Now, as for just copying, you know, certain moves to a character, that's kind of bullshit, to be honest. It really is. And then they did the same thing with Shujinko, you know. They figured, okay, well, let's make a character that has all the powers. Okay, all right, cool. All right, you know, with Chameleon, that's fine. But you would think, you know, obviously, you know, from a gamer point of view, okay, that's totally overpowered because, you know, I could freeze him, I could spear him, I could spit acid on him, so on and so on. But then they decided to make Shujinko, which is basically an old man now, which I don't have anything against. It's just the fact that now he's starting to use the same moves as, you know, Chameleon did and other players did, you know, because Chameleon really didn't have his own style. You know, he was just a form. The only style that he had was a form of every ninja's attributes. You know, every projectile, every, you know, every power, so to say. And that's the reason I don't think that they're gonna have any time to deal with Shujinko. Now, do I want him to be in? Actually, yes, I do. If they have some type of story mode, which I don't think I think it's been confirmed that they're not going to have a conquest mode in this one, obviously. Which, in my opinion, deep down, that really sucks because, you know, in Deception's conquest and or slash campaign, if you want to call it that, and you know, MK9s, and when the action adventure game came out with the Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. That was really fun. I really did enjoy that because it took time from fighting. Even, I mean, you had to fight like every 5 minutes, but it took time away to reflect upon the story and to know what everyone's deal was. You know, is Sector gonna blow up everybody? You know, is Sub-Zero still the fucking, you know, Grand Master of the Lin Kuei? Is Frost, you know, still trying to assassinate him? You know, like what's going on with Rain? Is he a half prince still, or is he a full god or a demigod now? You know, is Smoke still, you know, teaming up with Noob Saibot? You know, these are questions that we want to know. And there's many others. You know, what the hell happened to Raiden? Is he good now? Is he evil? I mean, because of this time, you know, fuck up that he did in MK9, you know, does that make him good or bad now? You know, as for bosses, are we going to see Shinnok as a boss? Are we going to see a whole new boss? Or are we going to see Shao Kahn again? You know, we don't know these questions yet, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fill you guys in on the latest information because not just you guys, but I too want to learn. You know, what the hell's going on in this story? You know, I don't want to spoil it for me. You know, before I get my hands on the game or anything. It's just I would like to know the latest information on it because I want to know if it's actually worth buying or not. You know, because if it's gonna be some half-ass bullshit, and pardon my French, but if it's gonna be some half-ass bullshit, then I'm not gonna waste my money on it. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm not going to buy it because, you know, it's not the way I wanted it to be or it's nothing that I don't like, you know. And that's not, you know, I'm not going to, that's the reason I'm not going to buy it because I'm not going to buy it just because I don't like it, you know. But as for the characters, a lot of people have been wondering, you know, who are these new characters? Where are they from? You know, like Kotal Khan and, you know, Devora and Thor. And a lot of people want to be getting information with that. So I would definitely be getting more in depth and detail with those characters, which are the new characters for MKX. And yes, a lot of people have been wondering, you know, why do I call it MKX? Well, they called it MKX because X meaning a whole new generation. You know, it's the 10th one that came out. If you want to not count the side ones like Injustice and, you know, MK versus DC and the side ones, you know, like Shaolin Monks and so on and so on. But my next video, I would definitely be getting more into detail with those characters as well, and trying to find out, you know, what's the mysteriousness about them, and you know, where do they come from, where do they originate, what side are they on, you know, because we really don't know. I mean, we have a hunch, obviously, they're for evil, but we don't know that for a fact. I mean, we thought Scorpion was fucking evil, but we turned out, he was neutral, so you know, we never know. But anyways, I'm going to hurry up and end this video here, and I will upload my other video shortly as well, and that will be on the other annotations of the characters. So I will see you guys next time. This has been Wild Rocker. Peace out.